And welcome in. It's night number 25 of the MVG Grand Slam tournament. Tonight, it is me here in the booth. I'm Travis Coulter, and down doing the numbers and stats, we have George Statenopoulos, Jose Cazares.
Yep, back at it as always. Good to be here as well, Traz. It's got quite the matchup here tonight.
Yes, we do. Tonight, as we take a look at the brackets, we are running some of the top seeds against each other. We are running number 3, Kevin Henry, against number 6, the head of MVG, Brandon Scruggs. What do you think that we have here on our hands, Jose?
Oh, it's a battle of best friends. I mean, these two have gone through thick and thin for each other, and now they get to face each other here in this tournament. It's going to be very exciting to see how this is going to unfold.
Yes, two best friends fight. Only one of them gets to move on, and the winner goes on to face number 2 seed Elliott Schiff. It's going to be an interesting match. I honestly can't wait to see this get started. So, round 1, teaser round. They're a little bit harder this time, but hey, everyone has a little bit of fun with them. The only way to have the real fun is to get to the question, man. What do you say, Jose?
Let's do it, question man!
Let's take it to the floor.
All right, players, for the first time today, let's take our positions.
Brandon, can I borrow your cane?
No, because I might need it during this game just to stay standing.
It's probably,
All right.
yeah, very careful because I think he might hit Jose with it. So, players, welcome here to our first round, and congratulations on making it to the quarterfinals. We start here with round 1, which is our teaser round. In this round, you will be asked questions that are in the form of jackpot-style riddles. So pay attention. Most of these riddles, you're actually being given 2 types of clues in there that lead you to the same answer. So do pay attention to those carefully. Make sure you've got your mic in a position to where you're able to come through clearly, and that you have your sound turned up loud enough so that you can hear me. Along with that, of course, players, remember you will have 3 switches to help you along the way in the first 3 rounds, and that is total for the first 3 rounds, not for each individual round. Of course, Kevin is the higher overall seed, so he has decided to go first in rounds 2 and 4. So with that, that means, Brandon, you'll be starting first here. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, then. So then, Brandon, your time begins now. Raise it, display it, yell or cheer in business an unprecedented year.
Leap year.
No. An appliance designed to bring relief, one who is steadfast in support and belief.
Chair.
No. When placed before hunter and wife, negative views are likely rife.
Pass.
A versatile and invaluable metal for devices modern and nifty, a policeman in a noir flick circa 1940 or 50.
Copper.
Correct, Kevin. Ice and field are variations to reveal, but only the first has popular appeal.
Skating.
No. This we cannot live without, nor touch and see. Also a type of mask in an emergency.
Oxygen.
Correct, Brandon. You cause its water to flow, such training all outgrow.
Pass.
It's incomprehensible and alien, but not sinister. Accompanies language, exchange, and minister.
Language?
No. Where some creatures congregate and stroll, or think unchanging and under control.
Path?
Introducing anxiety when it nocturnally appears, or a generic label for a scenario one fears.
Pass.
Satisfaction and pleasure of similar intensity, delayed or instant, select your propensity.
Don't know that one.
Time is up. And with that, Kevin, you have won our first round here. And with it, you will be taking 1 minute, 10.910 seconds along with you into the final round. Back up to our booth.
Whoa, what a display in the first round there. Brandon unfortunately taking a few hits from Kevin there as those incorrect answers did pile up. Kevin banked a lot of time. It's going to be taking so far almost 71 seconds to that final round.
Indeed. I mean, with all due respect, this is reminiscent to the matchup I had with him in the second round. I mean, but either way, anything and everything can and potentially could still happen. But now,
Indeed.
in terms of the statistics here.
Yeah, let's get those numbers. What do you got there?
All right, well, Brandon had a total of 9 questions in that round. Only managed to get 1 correct and missed 8 of them. Whereas Kevin only got a total of 2 questions in that round and went 50-50, 1 right, 1 wrong. And in terms of switches, none were used in that first round. So both players still have all 3 remaining going into round 2.
And Switch is definitely holding a high value in this game. Both players seeing the value in each of those. They're going to be holding all 3, well, at least 3 in the second round. Though Kevin has the bit of the pressure to begin with as he starts the second round, the odd one out round. And we'll see how that goes. Will Brandon be able to sack some time off of Kevin and be able to build some for himself, or will Kevin continue to run the building train and make it a monster of a final round? We'll see as we get to the floor and ask the question man to do his job.
Question man.
Players, take your positions. Players, as I'm sure you have now, you've shaken off the rust. Been a little bit since you played, and that tease round's always a tough one. We now go into round 2, which is our odd one out round. In this round, you'll be given a question with now 4 possible answers. You are going to find the correct answer here, and normally it's going to be which one does not belong. Sometimes it will ask you which one is just the right answer, but most often it's which one does not belong with the others. So with that, just a reminder again, both players, you've not used a switch yet, so you still have 3 remaining to use here. Kevin, you will be going first in this round. Are you ready?
Ready.
Then, Kevin, your time begins now. Which one of these classic 1970s songs was not by the same artist as the others? Your Song, Rocket Man, Dreams, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
Grains.
Correct. Brandon. Which one of these is not the name of a fictional TV detective? Andy Sipowicz, Olivia Benson, Joseph Levitch, Brenda Lee Johnson.
Joseph Levitch.
Correct. Kevin. Which one of these is not a women's Olympics gymnastics event? Vault, balance beam, pommel horse, uneven bars.
Pommel horse.
Correct. Brandon. Which one of these is not a vegetable? Kohlrabi, Swiss chard, Abarath, rapini.
Habarath.
Correct. Kevin. Which one of these was not among the 3 sisters usually planted together by Native Americans? Squash, beans, barley, corn.
Corn.
No. Which one of these is not the name of a character created by Beatrix Potter? Peter Rabbit, Rocky Raccoon, Squirrel Nutkin, Tom Kitten.
Tom Kitten.
No. Which one of these does not contain more calories than apples of an equivalent weight? Oranges, grapes, apricots, nectarines.
Nectarines.
No. Which one of these famous plays was not written after 1960? Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? Prometheus Bound? Amadeus? Glengarry Glen Ross?
Glengarry Glen Ross.
No. Which one of these is
Switch.
not among... Brandon, which one of these is not among the world's 10 most polluting rivers, marine plastic? Yangtze, Nile, Ganges, Mississippi?
Mississippi.
Correct. Kevin, which one of these is not a type of pasta? Orzo, Cimetto, Capellini, Farfalle?
Farfalle.
No. Which one of these is not the name of a romantic painter? J.M.W. Turner, Theodore Gericault? No, that answer was incorrect. Sorry, there was a little pause there. That was the incorrect answer either way. Brandon, you have won this round here in Grand Slam, and with it, you will be taking 57.617 seconds along with you into the final round. Back up to our booth.
Wow. Okay. It started out trading punches at first, but Brandon was able to come out on top in that match and able to sacrifice a lot of time for him, or keep a lot of time for himself. Excuse me. He's keeping almost a minute and able to cut that deficit down to just about 13 seconds.
Yeah, talk about the tables turning here in one round. Things just, it went from a dominating round to now a return to sender round, if you will.
Yeah, Kevin used the switch, but to kind of shake off a little bit of tension, but Brandon was able to answer correctly and put the pressure back onto him.
Absolutely.
So, the ending of the round, what are we looking at for numbers there, Jose?
Oh boy, I'm not gonna lie to you, it went by so fast. I don't even know if I got the right numbers, because from what I got, I believe Brandon had 5 questions total, got 4 correct and only missed 1. Whereas Kevin had 9 questions from what I saw, had 2 right and 7 wrong. And like you said before, Kevin did use one of his switches, so going into the next round, he will have 2, whereas Brandon will still have all 3 of his since he has not used any yet.
Just to let you know, they will be checking the tape. We told you only had one job.
Yeah, leave it to me to screw everything up like I always do.
Well, that's something we can talk about after the show is over. But we got round 3 on our hands, and Brandon's going to be going first in this round, so pressure back on him as it's the sequencing round. So let's take it to the floor and get this third sequence in order. Question man, let's go.
Question man.
Players, take your positions. Players, here in our third round, this is our sequencing round. So in this round, you will be given a question with 3 possible answers, and you will be asked to put them in some form of order. So pay close attention, as the order will be given to you as a part of the question. This is one of the rounds where I have said you are able to give me the essence of the answer, because some of them are a little longer sentences. So as long as I know what you're speaking about, we're good. But again, do remember, I do not accept ABC 1, 2, 3, the first, the second, the third, the middle one, anything like that. So please be as specific as you can. And again, if you need to give me the essence, I will accept it. As a reminder on our switches, Brandon, you go into this round with 3 switches still remaining. Kevin, you have 2 switches. I will remind you that you are able, if you choose to, you can hold them into the 4th round where you will pick up an extra switch. But those are the ones that you have to use for this round currently. So with that said, Brandon, we will start with you here in this round. Are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Then, Brandon, your time begins now. Arrange these key historical events chronologically. The Spanish Inquisition begins. The Black Death Plague reaches Europe. The First Crusade lands in Constantinople.
Black Death, First Crusade, Spanish War.
No. Arrange these numbers in order, highest to lowest. The number of active supervolcanoes in the United States. the number of strings on a violin, the number of U.S. states with more people than metropolis Tokyo.
States with. Repeat the question.
Again, the question, arrange these numbers in order, highest to lowest. The number of active...
Metropolis, strings
No,
on a violin.
I can stop you there. Arrange these cities by their number of champion sports teams, NHL, NBA, NFL, and MLB between 2000 and 2020, most to least. Pittsburgh, Boston, Detroit.
Boston, Pittsburgh, Detroit.
Correct, Kevin.
Switch.
Switch.
Brandon, Kevin.
Switch.
Brandon, arrange these by the revenue. Kevin, arrange these by the revenue they generate for Nevada casinos, most to least. Slot machines, blackjack, roulette.
Slot machines, roulette, blackjack.
No. Arrange these juices by consumption in the United States, most to least. Orange juice, apple juice, grape juice.
Apple, orange, grape.
No. List these by total area size, largest to smallest. Vatican City, Central Park, New York, Monaco.
Central Park, Monaco, Vatican City.
Correct, Brandon. Arrange these 3 top grossing movies of the 1980s, highest to lowest totals. Star Wars Return of the Jedi, Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
Empire Strikes Back, Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, E.T.
No. Arrange these in sequence, longest
Switch.
to shortest. There's no switches remaining. Time is up. And with that, Kevin, you have won this round. You will be taking 51.898 seconds along with you into the final round. Back up to the booth.
Wow.
What did I just witness? There was a definite switch battle on our hands. Well, that just happened really quick. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, me neither. And me being the stats guy here, I had to keep up to the pace that they were using the switches that quickly. But man, and as it turned out, and Turd, I'll go ahead and mention this to you for the record. He actually still had one switch left as time was running out.
Okay, so then here's what we are going to do. I did not think he did because when they got in the switch battle, I thought he used them up. So
No,
then, go ahead.
Because Kevin had only 2 and Brandon had 3.
And I thought he had used 3, so that is my fault. So here's what we're going to do because I had happened to look at the time on the clock at roughly the time he asked for it, so I know where it was. Give me just a second. I was already in the process of moving them around, so I do apologize to the players. So, Brandon, you had just over 5 seconds remaining.
That's
so
correct.
I'm gonna put 6 on the clock because it was more than 5, but I can't 6. It's either 5 or 6. I'm gonna put 6 on there.
I think Kevin had about 51 left, I believe.
He was at 51.898, so I'm going to put that at 52. That balances everything out. Okay. So here is what's going to happen. I will have to quickly, when we start, I am going to, you know what? Here's what I'm going to have to do. Hold on.
I got a slightly better idea for that.
I'm actually just
or you could
their,
do that. You could do that.
Yeah, I'm doing this because otherwise it's going to start running Brandon's clock, whereas this fixes that problem. Now
I would have said aim a little higher.
Yeah, with Brandon using that, now I will tell you, neither one of you have switches. So do keep that in mind for the remainder of this round. So we are back in round 3. Again, apologies. Sometimes when those rounds like that happen to where it's firing them left and right, I'm doing my best to remember and read at the same time. So
that's fine.
Again, with that said, so he had asked
Why
for a
have
switch.
me around?
As soon as I say your time starts now, then Kevin, the question will be coming to you. Okay?
Yep.
All right. Making sure I was on the right question. All right. Yes. All right. That's the right one. So here we go. Kevin, your time starts. And hold on. I need to switch this back for the live stream people. Back on the timer so they can see it. All right. Good stuff. All right. So then, Kevin, your time starts now. Arrange these in sequence, longest to shortest. The length of a professional basketball court, the wingspan of a Boeing 727, the distance between bases in professional baseball.
Wingspan, bases, basketball.
Correct. Brandon, arrange these major religions by date founded, earliest to latest. Buddhism, Christianity, Shintoism. Time is now up. All right. So, with that said, Kevin, you have still won that round, but now you will only be taking forward 36.900 seconds into the final round. Now we go back to the booth.
All right, there we go. Now we fixed everything. And again, we do apologize out there, home audiences watching this live or on replay.
3 words for this. We are live.
Yeah, we are live. Mistakes like this tend to happen all the time. But hey, that's why I'm around to keep the monitor the switches. That he had one leg, we fixed it in fairness, and now still though, it still didn't affect the outcome. Just the only thing that it affected was the time that was banked. But either way,
It affected the time that it was banked, and quickly give us the numbers on the questions.
All right, well, in total that round, both players got 4 questions each. Brandon got 1 right and 3 wrong, whereas Kevin went 50-50 and got 2 right and 2 wrong. But with that hectic switch battle that happened in that 3rd round, they used all the switches they had remaining. So going into the final round, they'll each only have 1 to use. Make things quite interesting here for our wild card round coming up here.
Right, and taking a look at it, Kevin will have a 50-second time advantage over Brandon running the clock. So even though he starts, they both have a switch. So that field is a little bit balanced, but the pressure's on Kevin to see if he can pull out the first correct answer. So let's see how it does, and let's go to round 4, the final, the wild card. Let's take it to the floor.
Question man.
Players, for the final time tonight, take your positions. All right, players, this is the wild card round, our 4th round. So with that being said, let's do a quick recap. Of course, both players, since you had used all your switches in the first 3 rounds, you were given an extra switch here to help you out. So you have 1 switch each to use. Make sure you use it wisely. Of course, Kevin, you are given your 1 minute and 30-second base time. We added to that the time that you were able to bank, which was 1 minute 47.810 seconds, which rounds up to an additional 1 minute and 48 seconds, giving you 3 minutes and 18 seconds to use here in the final round. Brandon, you were able to bank 57.617 seconds, which rounds up to 58 seconds, giving you a total of 2 minutes and 28 seconds to use here in this round. Just that reminder, just because you have more time or less time does not mean you're going to win or lose. It all comes down to strategy and how well you answer here in this round. So with that said, I do want to remind you players that to make it easier there with the mistake there in round 3, I had flopped Kevin from being on the right side over to the left. He was scheduled to be on the left side for this final round, so that's why I did not need to move that around. All right, so with that said, again, in this wild card round, questions can come from anywhere. I will kind of give you a heads up. There are some to where you will have to give me 2 out of 3 answers, and I will go through them one by one. You can pass one and go to another one, but I have to get 2 out of 3 correct. There are some to where there are true, false, and you must give me 2 answers correct. There'll be 2 questions, and you must give me the correct answer on both of them. Other ones are fill in the blank and trivia question type questions. So with that being said, Whoever has time remaining here at the end of this round will be the winner, and we'll move on into our semifinals. So with that said, Kevin, you will be going first in this round. Are you ready?
Ready.
Then with that, best of luck, players. And Kevin, your time begins now. Bob Hope once said, I love to visit blank. That's where my money is. Where's the place?
His home.
No. Find the names listed below. Find the two mythological conceptions of paradise: Avalon, Elysium, Aquinas, Fortuna.
Avalon Fortuna.
No. Give me 5 words that begin and end with the letter M as in Michael.
5 words?
5.
Modem, mom, minimum, maximum, mum.
Correct, Brandon. By adding Samuel to the surnames below, how many famous people do you get? 1, 2, or 3? The names are Beckett, Oldman, Alito.
1.
No. To cast pearls before swine is an old expression that means being nice to rude people, spending your way into heavy debt, or to show quality to people who can't appreciate it.
Be nice to rude people.
No. Think of an 8-letter food that begins in RIDGE.
Pass.
All right, give me 3 words that contain 2-letter V's as in Victoria.
Pass.
All right, give me 3 corporate names or brands that start with the letter W as in Willie.
Wonka, Walgreens, Wawa.
Correct, Kevin. All right, give me a word that contains 3 or more letter E's as in Edgar.
Believe.
Correct, Brandon. The word spaghetti is derived from the Italian for hair, cord, or thin.
Hair.
No. All right, give me 2 words that begin and end with the letter H as in Harry.
Hannah and Hugh.
Correct, Kevin. Give me 3 words that begin and end with the letter C as in Courtney.
Pass.
All right, this is a 2 out of 3 question. The first one is BMW blank Motorworks.
Bavarian.
Correct. The next one, CBS blank Broadcasting System.
Columbia.
Correct, Brandon. Select the 2 varieties of tomatoes: Early Girl, Happy Pappy, Grand Granny, Better Boy.
Grand Granny, Better Boy.
No. Name 2 birds that have 4 letters in their name.
Wren and Swan.
Correct, Kevin. Select the 2 countries which share Mount Everest: China, Bhutan, India, Nepal.
India, Nepal.
No. All right, 2 out of 3. What does the F in F. Scott Fitzgerald stand for?
Francis.
Correct. The F in John F. Kennedy.
Fitzgerald.
Correct, Brandon. Say 4 corporate names or brands that start with the letter H as in Hector.
Highlands, Highway, Honda, Hyundai.
Correct, Kevin. Hollywood pioneer Samuel Goldwyn once said, anyone who goes to see a blank ought to have his head examined. What's the missing word?
Movie?
No. Name 1 state capital, 1 foreign capital, and 1 country that begins with the word mad.
Pass.
Select the 2 states whose boundary was originally formed by the Mason-Dixon line: Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Ohio.
Pennsylvania and Ohio.
No. 2 out of 3. Betty Smith novel, A Tree Grows in Blank.
Pass, pass, pass.
Okay. By adding Albert to the surnames below, how many famous people do you get? 1, 2, or 3? Famous, Guttress, Munch.
Switch.
Brandon,
Which?
Kevin.
Pass.
All right, 2 out of 3. Alaska, the last blank.
Frontier.
Correct. New Jersey, the blank state.
Garden.
Correct. Brandon, select the 2 fashion brands that were launched around the same time. Gucci, Calvin Klein, Ralph Lauren, Tommy Hilfiger.
Tommy Hilfiger, Calvin Klein.
No, select the 2 varieties of mushrooms. Vanillo, Cremini, Portobello, Tachin.
Portobello,
Time
Martini.
is up. And with that, Kevin Henry, you have won this matchup of Grand Slam. Congratulations, you're moving on to the semifinals.
Get me a drink.
Oh, oh, oh,
Down
my
to the
God.
wire. Wow.
Wow! Oh, man!
I kind of thought that was going to be more of a little bit of a landslide victory, but it was a lot more down to the wire. Congratulations to both of the players. They both deserve a pat on the back.
Absolutely. I mean,
Unfortunately, for one of them, there is only one winner. So let's bring up the players, starting with our runner-up, Brandon Scruggs. How you feeling about tonight's performance?
Considering how much of a deficit I had going into that last round, I'm actually really proud of myself for the play in the final round there. I got it close. Had I not had to burn those switches in that third round to try to salvage what little time I could, I think I might have had a better shot at it. But overall, I would say I'm not mad at my performance. I mean, Kevin was already going to be tough as it was. I mean, very, very knowledgeable, very well-versed in trivia like myself. But again, he was a higher ranked seed for a reason, and we've seen it proved out for right here in front of everyone. Like I said, he's the one that deserved to move on tonight. So I can't say nothing but good things about him. And I said, hey, very happy for him. But like I said, he's got a tough task ahead of him. But I'm sort of thankful I kind of lost at the same time, because I'm like, now I don't have to stress out over this. But like I said, overall, looking at my experience at this, like I said, as much as I dreaded it at first, because I was like, I wanted to do as well as I could. I knew when I got to the later rounds, it was not going to be easy by any means or by any stretch of means. So I was like, I did what I could. I tried my best, and unfortunately, it just came up a little short tonight.
You have nothing bad you could say about yourself, your performance, your opponent. You did, like you said, you did have a deficit. You actually cut a good bit out of it, so you have nothing to be ashamed about. Everybody give it up for the good leader of MVG, Brandon Scruggs.
Yes.
Absolutely, man. A hell of a try, sir. But really quick here, before we bring up the man of the hour, let's go ahead and share with you all the final statistics of that round, because that was one hectic round that had a lot of questions. In total, that round, Brandon had 11 questions. He got 4 right and 7 wrong, whereas Kevin had a big 14 in that one. Got 5 right and 9 wrong. So in total, 25 questions in that round. But
a lot of questions, but the man of the hour, Kevin Henry.
Go ahead and bring him up, Kevin Henry. Took me down in the last round. Now taking down your best friend here in the third round. What is your mentality here after this?
My mentality is, first of all, I have to 100% disagree with one thing Brandon said. He said that I deserve the right to move on. I absolutely disagree with that, in the sense that Brandon is my equal. And by that, I mean he deserves to move forward just as much as I do. So whatever success I may have moving forward, I share it with this guy. So I cannot agree with that assessment. No offense.
Well, yeah, it's understood. I mean, I honestly could have seen this match go either way between the both of you, but Now, if we take a look at our bracket here real quick, you're moving on to the semifinals here for round number 4. And you are up, and you might have possibly the toughest opponent you'll ever face in this round. You're up against Elliott Schiff.
Someone's about to yank your collar.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to, and I'm gonna have to drink about a dozen Red Bulls to keep up with that guy.
Yes, Kevin. Yes, you have a chance. You're going to face the number 2 seed, Elliott Schiff. So he's technically now been deemed top because our number 1 has been knocked out. But you know that do you have a different strategy going into that game that you had for this game?
Yeah, drink a dozen Red Bulls.
Well, hopefully the question man will still be able to understand you after all of that.
Yeah, well.
Tonight my drink of choice was simply water, and worked out. But Scruggsy, you know my affection for you. Proud of you. Played a hell of a game. Kept me on my toes, and I can't say enough good things about you. So, hell of a game, and you deserve this just as much as I do.
You're genuinely kind, but I will actually disagree with your assessment of what you said earlier, saying that you deserved to win. You absolutely did. You played much better than I did, like statistically wise, in that game. And I feel like whoever, because like I said, everybody can have a bad game occasionally, and like I said, the one who can capitalize on said bad game should be the one that usually ends up moving on, and that you absolutely did have the better game than I did that time. So you absolutely deserved it and earned your spot to move on in this tournament.
I think you had the better competitive strategy. So we could go on and on all night long about who had the better what. The bottom line is this: I feel that you and I are equals. So either one of us could have won this game.
Yeah, it was going to be a tough one either way. So it was like I was not looking forward to it, but hey, we did a thing. We did. Made it competitive, and now we'll see where it happens from here.
Yes,
absolutely, and let's go ahead and bring up now our question man, Turd, first, and to give us his take on what was undeniably the most exciting match to date so far in this round. Question man, what are your thoughts on this?
I would agree with pretty much everyone's assessments there. That was an absolute heavyweight fight. You had one player that was good in one round. Then here come the other player back throwing his counter punches. Then it was just an absolute heavyweight fight throughout. Either one of those players at the end of the day could have won that thing. The fact that Brandon went into that final round there with a pretty hefty deficit of, I believe it was 51-second difference, if I'm not mistaken. And at the end, he was able to cut it down to where he only lost by 22 seconds. Like, he made up some real ground there. I will throw out there at this time that Brandon, from what I heard, he did have the last question correct. It was, of course, time was up at that point as he was letting it come out of his mouth. But he was correct on the mushrooms. But yeah, at the end of the day, fantastic. I've kind of looked back, talking about as we get ready to move forward into the next round. I've been looking at Kevin statistically as far as time left, what rounds he's winning, and I'm noticing so far in his 3 matches, he's always won round 1. He's only won round 2 once. And he's won round 3 2 out of his 3 matches so far. So I think that's something Elliott's going to have to pay attention to. And I think that's one thing that Kevin can kind of keep an eye on, is that where it's odd one out, is kind of put the practice in before Elliott, that matchup comes up, of working on the odd one outs. But yeah, absolutely fantastic battle by 2 absolute trivia titans. And there was talk at the beginning, before we come into the live stream, about the difference in their seating. The thing is, with this tournament, we've got a lot of smart people here at MVG Productions. Brandon and the admin team here have pulled together a great group of people that really enjoy doing trivia and different types of game shows. And I think everybody so far has been having fun with this tournament, but especially when you get into those upper seeds. The differences in players are very slim. We're not talking about massive differences like the number 1 seed to the number 32 seed. This is when it just gets really, really tight. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Kevin and Elliott matchup. And I know Kevin mentioned there about drinking lots of Red Bulls. When Elliott went up against Braden said the same thing, that he drank a lot of Red Bulls himself going into that matchup, or Monsters, or whatever his gasoline of choice was. And he gave Elliott a run for his money. So that's not a bad idea for Kevin to go into that. But again, if we even look just a little smidge deeper into the bracket, trying to get it where we get the whole thing on screen here, we now have 3 of our semifinalists in, between Elliott Schiff, Kevin Henry, and of course you yourself, Travis Coulter, pulling that major upset last night over John Bergman. We still have 1 match remaining to get us to the semifinal round, and that'll be between the number 4 seed Jason Myers and the number 5 seed Ryan Westling. Definitely looking forward to that one. Not sure when that'll come up. It could be later tonight, could be tomorrow, who knows. The only way you'll know is, of course, make sure that you like the video here tonight. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, or if you have, go out and find 2 new people, 2 of your friends that maybe they're not attached to MVG Productions yet, and then get them to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell for notifications, so you know not only when more Grand Slams coming, but when more awesome live streams such as Sorry, which will be coming up tomorrow night here on MVG, as well as all the amazing content that Brandon and the other creators here are putting out for you on daily and weekly basis. But for now, that's all the time that we have got here for Grand Slam. As always, I'd like to thank Kevin Henry and Brandon Scruggs for being our players, Travis Coulter and Jose Cazares for being up in the booth. I was your questioner, Turd Ferguson, and you sure as hell aren't. We'll see you here next time for another matchup in the 2023 MVG Grand Slam Tournament.
This was an MVG production.